What is going on, everyone, and welcome to episode number 15 of the Stay Attached podcast. Today, we have a very special guest with us, none other than Quavo Kenny, the SMG YY mastermind. He's on back-to-back at COD Champs. He's the Esports Player of the Year in 2018. Just won Major 4 and absolutely fried, and probably has the best shoe collection in all of Call of Duty. So, Kenny, welcome to the podcast. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Feeling good.
Feeling
Glad to be
good?
here, bro.
Still, that win still feel good? Like, where's your mind at right with that right now?
Honestly, I feel like I haven't taken it in too much because we had to get right back to scrims like 3 days after the event. So, we had to celebrate for a weekend, but it's just been straight grind,
Yeah,
focus mode for champs. So, I
yeah,
think our coaches have been good about keeping our minds about for champs.
yeah. No, because sometimes when you come back home from winning an event, especially a LAN event, you think you can't die. Like if someone shoots you in the back,
Exactly.
you're like, dude, this guy's a warrior. Like he wouldn't win that shit on LAN.
100%, 100%. It's like a bad thing. But at the same time, I just feel like when players, if you keep your confidence up still, but regardless, I feel like it's like a double-edged sword. Like you feel like you keep your confidence up by saying you got joked, but then it's also like a bad thing for
Yeah,
saying it out loud for your teammates. But I
yeah.
don't know.
Then
I can see it both ways.
yeah, you start making like some dumb plays, and you're just like, ah, dude, internet, I got
Yeah,
joked, man. Like it's whatever. But
exactly.
before we really get into Call of Duty too much, I gotta ask, when did you really start getting into like collecting shoes, and like all like the stuff with fashion and all different clothing? Cause
Yeah,
you got like, I don't know, you got everything. You got everything. You got cool looking rugs. You got all the best shoes. You got
yeah.
everything. So when did that all start?
I think my uncle when I was in high school got me into it. I was into it before because like in Memphis we have like our little shoe culture where like every Saturday Jordans come out, you go to the Nike factory and get shoes.
Mm.
Granted, at the time my family wasn't like wealthy or anything, so it was like every off like maybe every other month I was getting a new pair. So it was like the days I could go that Saturday was like the best days. But my uncle definitely had like a decent shoe collection at the time, and I used to like wear his shoes because we wore the same
Mm.
size.
Oh, that's fire.
And then when I got into college, started getting my own collection going, and then joined TK, got a little bit more money, and just started buying. I actually the first pairs of shoes I bought when I first got like my first few paychecks were the shoes that I wore with my uncles back in high school, because I was like, yeah, those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Like those have like some meaning to me. I need to get those, and I bought those. Clothing wise, I always felt like I had a thing for like just like putting colors together. So
Mm.
I feel like it just came with it, and then I learned about Off-White from Lil Uzi actually. And when I learned from Off-White, I'm like, what? Why you talk about the color Off-White? Like, what is Off-White? Looked it up, and then it became one of my favorite brands.
Yeah.
Started like looking up a lot of Virgil stuff and reading about Virgil, and yeah, I just kind of put both together.
Yeah, no, that's dope. Wait, what were the pair of shoes that you bought that you used to wear for your uncles?
So I had these. He had a pair of these green glow Jordan 4s. Those were one of my favorite pairs, and then the Bel Air 5s. So the Bel Air 5s came out. They were one of my favorite shoes of all
Yeah.
time. And it was like one time we went to the mall to get them, and whenever they like called for the people to come to the front, you couldn't stand in line at the time. You had to sit in your car,
Mm.
and literally it was like I'd compare it to like a Fast and the Furious scene where like all the cars are like driving around while people are running, and that's literally what it was on the way to the front door, the
Yeah.
finish line. But we missed out on those too.
uh,
So
it was like a race. That's kind of crazy. But speaking from one fashion, like, cause I'm really into fashion too. I've had
yeah,
some stuff go viral and stuff. Some of my fits and people really. Wait, why are you laughing?
yeah, definitely, bro.
People have always really complimented me on like dressing and stuff. So one of the best dressed in Call of Duty is probably yourself. Top two for sure. Probably one.
For
But
sure.
what would you say like New Balance and like Gucci? Like how do you think that fit actually look? Because I gotta speak to someone that actually knows a lot about clothing, not just like random Twitter kids. So what would you rate it?
Listen, the fit was cool. It was
Okay.
cool. Like
Okay.
we could have did a little bit better with I don't like the sizing. I don't know.
That's true. It didn't look like it fit like too
It did look
proper.
like yeah, yeah.
But
But others,
if it fit like a little tighter, like a little better, I think it would have been a little bit cooler. But honestly,
I won't lie though. I was jealous for a bit, even in World War II, about the Gucci jacket. The Gucci jacket was flea. That was one of the like most fire things I've like seen.
nah, yeah, it's hung up
But
in the rafters now. It's taken it's done its work. It's just retired. So
you gotta tip that for sure.
it's having a good time. But did you play any sports growing up?
Yeah, so actually, I play a lot of football. I was actually like this. I used to play like a little league a lot. I was actually like the star at Memphis of little league. Like I ran it. We'd have like little Super Bowls, and I
Yeah.
was like the 4-time champ. Like went like four
He was the
years without
Tom
like losing a
Brady.
game. Yeah, and then like high school hit. I mean, middle school I played a little bit of baseball. We made it to like state, lost, but high school is like when I stopped like I wouldn't say loving football. I loved it, but the thing about our football team, like I was a freshman and the I played defense. I played like safety and stuff like
Mm,
that. So me being a shorter guy, playing safety was kind of hard because like all these taller other people.
yeah.
But even then, like our freshman coach like quit the first year we were there, so we didn't even practice. We just played our games with no
No
practice, and I
way.
kind of yeah. So the whole time I'm at practice, I'm like, bro, I want to go home and play COD. So like I was like, bro, if I'm thinking about COD at practice, I might as
Yeah.
well just quit. And then
Yeah.
I chalked it up.
When did you
Yeah.
first start playing video games? Do you remember like the first ever video game you played?
So my stepbrother actually got me into video games. It was my first game I ever played was probably Halo 3. Halo 3,
Ooh,
my
that's a good one.
stepbrother, I used to have to, like, wake up early in the morning before he was up to, like, get on his game and play with his homies,
Yeah.
and then he would wake up, like, snatch a controller out of my hand and stuff like that, but, yeah, that was, like, the regular Xbox days,
Oh,
like,
like.
that was, like, deep, and then, like, to be honest, Xbox 360 is when I got, like, Left 4 Dead, and,
Mm.
Left 4 Dead was one of my favorite games, and that was, like, one of the first games my mom ever bought me.
Oh, yeah, that was a dope game. You'd have like the people running at you, like the boomers. I think they would always run at you, right, and
Yeah,
just blow
exactly.
up. It was that those were crazy. But when did you start playing COD?
So back then, I mean, it was like Halo 3 and COD 4 was
Yeah.
what we were playing. The first game my mom bought me for myself was BO1. Like we had like this clan called like the Hero Clan, and it was like one of my best friends, Josh. I actually met him in a pub lobby. Fun story is I actually texted him because he lived in Toronto. At the time, we were best friends for like the longest time. We were both Filipinos, so like our families got along
Yeah.
over a lot, obviously, but. I forgot he lived in Toronto. Haven't talked to him in years, but then he texted me about the event. It was like, "Hey, like I didn't get to go see him, but well, he lives in Ontario. It was like 2 hours or something like
Yeah.
that. But it's just crazy. Like one of the guys my first like friend I ever met in like online Xbox, just is somebody I'm still cool with. I still talk to this day. So
No, yeah, that's dope.
um, yeah, it was BO1.
It's crazy because back in the days, everyone would be like, yo, don't be talking to strangers and doing all this, and you're just online, like becoming friends with people, and it's like hanging out eventually. And now it's just like normal to do that. Like you just meet people online,
Exactly.
you fly to an event together, whether it's like TwitchCon or a tournament, and you just become friends. So like, it's so
Yeah.
normal now, which is still dope. But it's dope that you guys still kept in contact. But did he introduce you to like competitive COD, or when did you really learn
Yeah.
about competitive Call of Duty?
So he knew somebody that knew about GBs, and then
That's how
at
it
the time
starts.
he's like, "Yeah, we were playing," and he's like, "Bro, we got to try playing like GBs." Like, I'm like, "What's a GB?" We're playing that. He got me into it. Me and him started playing a lot of 2v2s together.
Mm,
Played like our first like ever GB tournaments in MW3. Then I started meeting like as I was getting better, like like getting like placing higher, I guess. I was starting to meet like the better MW3 players. I was playing with like Flowers and like a lot of like
yeah,
these other players in MW3, and then that's how I got my name out there. And then I met my homie Lou. My homie Lou actually lives with me now.
yeah.
I met him in BO2 because I played him in like a variant tournament, and then me and him became the duo. We made like our little wire win squad and Ghost, and then that's kind of just where it went. We've been cool since then.
Wait, do you remember the first like ever online tournament you won?
Yeah, I
Well,
used to play with my homie. I played with these they were called Radar Stars back in the day, but
yeah.
this guy named Primary Grenade and Frosty, they were both Radar Stars like gross, and my homie Dynamite, who I still talk to as well. Um, played this 44 Radar tournament, and they supreme hard carried me. It was literally me like going. Well, it wasn't Radar tournament; it was a regular tournament, but they would use like radar wall bangs. So I was just going to plant the bomb. I literally ran to plant the bomb every round,
You were bomb
and
bitch.
they were wall banger for spawn. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was the first tournament I won. It was like a 44
Do you remember how much
SMG
cash?
tournament. Yeah, it was like 350 or something like that. 333 if I can remember exactly.
Okay.
Cause I remember I ended up using that exact paycheck to buy my monitor. Cause at the time I was playing on a football TV.
Mm.
It was like a flat
Oh,
screen, but like a football was like shaped around it. I don't know how
a
to explain it,
football
but
shaped TV?
Yeah.
Like it did have like the fat back where it was like huge in the back type, like a tube
Nah, it was like
TV,
a flat screen, but like the
flat
front of
screen.
it was like a football skin kind of like yeah,
Shit, I don't know. Football TVs don't sound like the meta, but it worked for you.
it did.
Wait, was that 330 each?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that was like a pretty big tournament. That's a pretty like good prize pool.
Oh yeah, back in the day, bro, the S&D
Yeah,
tournaments were pain
yeah.
for sure, for sure.
Nowadays, you win a 2v2, you win like $10 and your credits back or something. Like, or sometimes you only win your credits back. They don't even give you cash anymore
Right.
because there's 3 teams. You started the tournament in the grand finals.
And grand final, yeah.
So nah, it's so dumb nowadays. But after like climbing the ranks, you started winning some tournaments, getting a little bit of clout around your name. When did you
Yep.
go to your actual first LAN event?
A funny story, and I hope they see this because I feel bad till this day. I actually teamed with like it was me, I think me, Nihil, Chance, and I want to say I can't remember. I want to say Deminit. I could be wrong, but we were teaming in Ghost, and I was actually scrimming with them for a bit, and then like it was like UMG Dallas something like that,
Yeah.
and it was like a week before the event, and I asked my mom to go the week before, and she told me no, and I felt bad because I had to sketch on that. I started like not responding, and I'm like Jesus. But my first event actually was UMG Dallas in AW. It was me, Wolf, Nelson, and Assault. I want to say. I think so. Yeah.
Is that when you guys
And
beat us in like pool play?
no, we beat y'all at DC.
No, that was
And
at DC. That was at DC.
Yeah, that was when I joined
Okay.
Justice with me, Mike, uh, Envoy, and Assault.
Oh,
Well, me,
okay,
Space,
okay,
Envoy, and
okay.
Assault. Yeah, that's when we played y'all at DC. But Dallas was when I played with Nelson, and then we actually played TJ Cheen. Wheat,
It was probably like, was it like Rise or Noble at the time? Rise or Noble?
Rise. I want to say
I think it was
Rise.
Rise. Yeah, I think it was Rise.
Yeah, that was like my first like pro match on LAN was against them.
Hey, what'd you end
We
up
ended up
placing?
slamming them. We ended up slamming them. I think we placed T12 that
T12.
event.
That's actually like really good for like your first ever event. That's like super
Well, my
good.
worst placing ever is T12. I've never placed out of T12 ever.
Really?
Even when I went to Halo before I came into AW,
Oh, you went to
I was
Halo?
I was playing Halo for
Wait,
a bit. I was
when did
placing
you?
T12.
How do you even know about this? When did you go to Halo?
So I went to Halo like after AW, like BO2, I mean
Mm,
BO3, like IW meta. It's a Halo 5,
because of
like
the
when Kyler went to
age.
Halo.
Because of the
Yeah.
age, right? Yeah,
I was supposed to team with Donnie, but Donnie wasn't like grind at a time. So I
yeah.
played with some homies that I met on there. But yeah,
Bro,
T12 was what I was placing.
Donnie should have went. I feel like if you him made a squad, like, cause Donnie's obviously nasty. You're nasty. Like, you
Yeah.
just get 2 other players. You guys actually could have done something. Cause Kyler, like, what? He got like third or something at the World Championship.
Either way, yeah, Kyler was different at that game. That
Yeah.
game is too fun though. Like going from AW to that game is like the perfect like switch off because it felt like AW in a Halo setting. So
Yeah.
that game was actually so fun.
Nah, I wish I played that game because it literally reminds me of like AW with the dashing and everything. I was like, oh my god, I want to
Yeah.
play that so bad.
It didn't feel like weird moving to except for like the shooting aspect of
Yeah.
Halo. But then again, like I said, I grew up playing Halo. So it's
But
kind of just one of those things where I put two and two together.
yeah. But then you kind of got screwed over because like the whole 18 plus thing came into effect where it was like in Black Ops 3, I think is when it started. You just had to be 18 to go to like pro events now,
Yep.
and you had to sit out Black Ops 3. And what was after Black Ops 3? What game was that?
IW.
IW. So you had to sit out that game too,
Yep.
and then World War II finally dropped. World War II drops. Like, where were you in life? How'd you get back into COD? Because I'm sure taking like 2 years off of like playing a game,
Yeah.
that's like kind of a lot in like gaming terms.
Well, yeah. I played like the beginning of BO3. I was actually playing with like Rallied and stuff at S&D, and I didn't play IW at all. I didn't even buy that game. I didn't watch it. Funny that I didn't watch a match in BO3. I didn't watch a match in IW. I literally was just full Halo at the time.
Yeah.
I was finishing high school, and then World War II was about to drop. I was in college, working at this place called Incredible Pizza. It's like an arcade slash
Yeah.
pizza place.
Was it a vibe? You like that job?
No, hell no. I was so happy, and then like Lamar DM'd me. He was like, "Yo, what you doing next year?" Like, I'm trying to come back and play, bro. Like, I still was playing on my off time sometimes, but at the same time with college, I was so locked in that COD was like the last thing I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the call. Like he texted me, or not texted me, he DM'd me, and I was like, I'm down. And they were like, "Yo, we'll pay you this much," and it was literally like 3 times the check I was getting from the Incredible Pizza place.
Is
And I
it?
was like, I got it. I got it. I quit the same day he like DM'd me.
Yeah. And did you like when he DM'd you? Was it just
Yeah,
like you instantly joined, or was there any like roster talks, or were you like the last one picked up on the
I
roster?
was the last one on the team. Like he
Last one.
came to do with the roster, and I was like, I don't even know who on the roster.
Yeah.
I was only at the time. I was only looking at the check
The
for
check.
sure.
You're like 3 times when I make an incredible pizza. Yo, we're out. We're out.
Exactly.
But now, I mean, picking up World War II Kenny for the last pick, that's not a bad pickup for sure. I mean, you were pretty good at that game, I'd say.
Yeah, I was decent.
You were decent, but what really like set you guys apart at the beginning? Because it seemed like right off the bat, didn't you guys go back to back at Dallas and NOLA?
Yeah,
It's like what like
yeah.
if we're looking back on it, what like set you guys apart? Like how did you learn the game so much quicker than everyone else?
So initially, I've told this story like a million times, but Lamar was actually running our sub, and I was running the second AR.
What?
So yeah, because in AW I ran an AR. I was
Yeah,
on
you
on
did,
my
you did,
Destiny.
you
I was the
did. You
second
hit the bow.
AR. So at this time I ran the AR again, and then Lamar actually probably like the first day we scrimmed, and the second day he got slammed, and
Yeah,
then we randomly started talking about it. And in the beta of World War II, I was actually running the PPSH like the most. And so I was like, yo, I could try it. Like I was running the PPSH the most in the beta.
yeah,
Tried it, started working for us. And it just became a thing of like I was just randomly frying of like just on some S&D star type thing of just
yeah.
like I'm good playing my kills. And then it got to the point where Lamar was just like, bro, Kenny, don't touch the hill. Don't you ever go to the hill. And I was like, bet. And then there's actually a funny story because we were playing GB, like we had to play GBs at the time to get pro
Yeah,
points. And our Saint Marie S&D was like one of our best S&Ds as a team. And we actually came up with strats because at the time I only seen them as teammates, so I'd never actually talked to them outside of our scrims.
yeah.
So we played GBs. I was in the Discord with my homies like Lou and all them while we're playing GBs, and I started just going rogue, and it just became our strat for me to just go rogue. So it was like what worked. We like found out what worked for us like really early,
Yeah.
and that was like giving me the green light, I guess, and it worked for us.
Yeah, just don't touch the hill. Go run around an S&D, go rogue, do whatever the fuck you want on the map.
Literally. And let Lamar clutch an SD when we needed
And
to,
yeah,
and
let him get his nice little 1v3 and get the bomb down or something. Just let him do his thing with the what was it, infantry? The infantry
mhm,
strafe or something, and
I
no
so.
armored or something. Or he would use infantry instead of armored, so he would get stunned, but he would just be able to strafe so much
Strafe,
faster.
yeah.
That was his
Imogene had the
go-to.
FG down too. They were they
Oh
were they were
yeah,
discussing with that. And
yeah,
then like a lot of people don't talk about it, but Dylan McGee or Theory, like I think it was at the first event, like he hit like a collateral snipe through smoke against E United or E
yeah, yeah,
United,
yeah.
yeah.
I think it was
Like
like
even
round
get us to
11.
grand finals, yeah.
It was
Like
on the boat map. What's the boat
yeah,
map called?
Texas, yes, it's Texas.
Texas, USS Texas. That map's terrible, but he hit that collateral. I can't. Yo, why did they add USS Texas to Vanguard? Out of
I don't
every
know.
World War II map, they add USS Texas. Like everyone was hyped for London docks. We ain't see that. Like I would
Ain't
have took
seen none of
Gibraltar
that
over USS Texas. Like honestly.
for sure. I think every map on that game, I'm taking over that map for
Literally,
sure.
any map I would have been super down for. But I mean, you had a great year. I'm pretty sure you won what esports console rookie of the year that season. You guys
Yeah,
won 2 events or no 3 events, right?
3. Yeah,
3 events, and then you got
second.
second at COD champs. And it's 4v4. Everything's still going great. But then the big switch happens going into Black Ops 4. The next
Yeah,
game, it goes to 5v5, and you obviously have all the clout in the world because you were probably by far the best player in World War II. Like
yeah.
everyone wanted to team with you or wanted to pick you up. Oh, look at the cute puppies! Look at them! Look at them go! Look at them go! But how did that like roster mania go for you? Like from World War II into BO4 when you had all the leverage in the world.
Yeah, so initially I was in the talks with Immortals. They were the first people I talked to was Immortals. They were DMing me, and then like the Sunday night of champs, something like that. After we lost, Nate actually DM'd me himself and was like, "Hey, like we're trying to build a COD team. Like we want you to be like the star of it. Like build the roster around you. What'd you think?" I literally responded. I'm pretty sure I responded. I'm in. Like I was already locked on 100T. Like it's instantly like
Yeah.
as soon as Nate, because you nope. Maybe at the time like nobody was talking to Nate, and so I was like, Jesus, Nate's the admit. I'm on the team. And then he like basically how the whole roster media went for us was like he had Eric obviously who was like talking to me the most, and they were kind of just asking me, "Yo, what's like your tier of players that you want to play with? Like who is in the tier of players you want to play with?" And at first, um, I was like, "Yeah, I want Lamar," and I was like, "Only other player I would take over Lamar right now is Austin." And at the time, me and Lamar talking about like, "Yo, I ain't gonna lie, the only AR you better be like picking over me for this team better be Austin. So at the time, it was like
He shouldn't
impossible to
have
get
said that.
Austin.
He shouldn't have said that.
I respected it though, because
Nah,
I
nah,
at the
yeah.
time like we were also obviously gassing Austin because he was pretty really good at World War II, but yeah, Austin was like one of the hardest people to get for our team.
Yeah.
And then obviously we had Pharaoh, we got my boy Jay. Jay was discussing at World War II, got him on the team.
Mm-hmm.
But we were in talks with Damon as well, or Enable or Ian. We kind of
Damon.
wanted to
Oh
get our whole
yeah.
TK team together. We wanted to get it
Yeah.
together, but at the same time, 100T was looking for this like superstar godlike roster that
Yeah.
they wanted to come in with a bang.
Yeah.
We ended up getting Austin like last, so our team came together. We were all excited to play together. I honestly at the time, not gonna lie, at first I was kind of mind blown that I was playing with Sam because in World War II, Sam called me overrated. And at the
Oh
time,
yeah.
me being so young, I'm like, I'm not playing with somebody who ever calls me overrated. And so
You're
the whole
holding
time I'm talking
grudges. You're
to
like, I'm
Nate,
not
yeah, I'm
playing with
talking
this
to
guy.
Nate and Eric, and I'm like, bro, I'm not playing with Sam. Like he called me overrated. I'm not playing with him.
And then like, no, you have to. Like, he's on the team. Like,
Yeah, they were like, bro, we can get him right now. Like we're getting him. I'm like, okay,
all right,
I get it.
shit. All right,
I
you guys
guess.
got me. And then like the whole BO4 year kind of happened. I mean, Sam said hold that. Sam said hold that. No way, Sam. He tried to kick you off the team, but you were just too good, man. Nate, Eric, they all wanted you badly on the roster. They said, "Ken, listen, you're the superstar. You can make the decisions you want, but you know we're overriding your call on this one."
Yeah, exactly. I was like, all right.
Wait, Sam. So do you still think Ken's overrated, Sam? Now that we have you here, real quick, just let us know if you still think he's overrated, underrated, or like properly rated so far. Has your opinion changed after what? 5 years, 4 years, 4 years?
3 or 4, yeah.
Let's see.
You better say overrated, bro.
My MVP can never be overrated. No, he's gassing you. He's
I'm
gassing
trolling. I'm
you.
trolling. I'm trolling. I'm
Come
trolling.
on, he turned a new leaf. He thinks you're the best player in the world, and shit, you might be right now. You might be the best player in the world right now with the way you were looking at Major 4. But yeah, Black Ops 4 happened. You guys start off slow, won back-to-back events, another second
Yeah.
at Champs. So just an overall really successful year again. Your first 2 years being pro since you returned has just been insane. You won, what, 5 total events, back-to-back Champs. You're probably feeling on top of the world, untouchable. And then everything changes. Everything changes with the franchising. CDL comes in. How did that offseason go for you? Because it was probably hectic.
I think the initial well, we knew like it was like we were always hearing about the franchise and everything,
Yeah.
and we were just waiting for 100T to say like, yo, like next year we're in, like blah blah blah, and like it got to the point where like we're playing at Champs, and we're still not hearing nothing about it. So we were all assuming because we were all texting Eric like, yo, like yo, we getting in, like what's
Yeah.
going on, and then we had like a call with Nate and John. It was like one of the saddest calls ever, like them telling us like we're not getting in, and we were all just like, we're all like in the mode of like we already knew, but at the
Yeah,
same
but they just
time it was still
confirmed it.
super sad. Yeah, it was like super sad. We obviously wanted to keep our rosters together. I think Preston at the time was already on phase,
Yeah.
so that was kind of chalked. We were in talks with like another team for us 4 and +1, but yeah, to the point where like Austin was like, yeah, I want to play with Teej, and then we started making our OGLA roster. Ended up being me, Austin, Teej, Brandon, and then we started talks with like who we want, Ender or Cap. Um, Brandon was preaching for Ender the whole time. At the time, obviously nobody. I mean, we only knew Ender as like a S&D kid.
Yeah.
You have somebody who's prestigious as a Cap, or you got S&D kid to putting your whole season in a hand of somebody who hasn't proven herself, and like that happens
Yeah.
a lot of times. I think nowadays is becoming more relevant to the point where like you gotta give these new kids like shots,
Yeah.
and because they usually show out. They show out, but at the time we were like, yo, we want Cap. We know what Cap brings to the team. Not Cap's best game.
Not Cavs' best game. If we knew, because I'm pretty sure like when MW first dropped, there wasn't anyone doing crazy movement. So like we thought it was gonna be like a pre-aim heavy game, like really slow.
Yeah.
But no, a slide cancel. Right when you saw the slide cancel, you should have tried to hit an Ender up. Ender, man, we
Yo,
fucked.
chill. We were just playing.
Yo, honestly, Cat, we just wanted to see like what he could do, but it's not working out too well. Old man can't slide cancel. So yeah, that definitely was a rough time for him. But other than like the whole OGLA year, because I feel like we've heard of this story 8,000 times about the roster issues, people showing up late, all the bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Is there anything else outside of that you think attributed to like you guys not ever reaching your potential? Like, do you think living in LA and having shitty internet
Yeah.
like really hurt you guys?
Yeah, I think with it, and we still have issues now, but I think
Yeah.
that year the servers were terrible, like
Mhm.
really, really bad to the point where like sometimes like certain servers we couldn't play on, and that year you could like veto servers. And
Yeah.
so for some reason, I don't know why, but LA in general, even now, like pings so badly to like Chicago, the Chicago server, and like it's really laggy for us. And at the time, like it was one of those things that like even in matches just wasn't helping us out. Like we weren't having good practice, and it also was like the servers weren't helping us. So it was just like this domino effect of just like we never getting good practice because we getting smashed, and we also raging at each other every day. People late, and then we
Yeah.
got the servers, and it's just like it got to the point where like the year was just chalked. Like we just didn't want to play. Like nobody wanted to play. The motivation to play the game was
Yeah.
just not there. Um, and mentally, like with COVID hitting and everything, it
Yeah.
was just not the year for sure. For like mentally wise, I was just so checked. I was just so ready to get through that game and get over it. And then at chance, we played pretty well. To be honest, like
You guys went to Texas, right?
yeah. Well, I went to Chicago and stayed at my homie Lou's place to play,
Yeah.
and then I got booted offline. And then Brandon and subbed in and like
Yeah.
played Will Ness D, and then I flew to Dallas that night, and yeah,
Damn, you were all over the map at Champs. You were flying all over the country just
exactly.
catching flights to try and be able to play. But no, that was crazy because at MWU, I'm pretty sure there was only like 3 or 4 servers. So if you
Yeah,
lived like central, it was just over. Like Dallas, they lived in Texas, so they just connected well to everywhere. I know, I'm pretty sure Florida, they had their little like
yeah,
Bermuda Triangle set up where they connected well to
yeah.
everything. So it was like if you legit lived in the center of the country, like you were
We're
good.
good.
You were gonna
Yeah,
fucking fry on any server you got because there was only like 3 at the time.
yeah.
Now there's a lot more, and you've experienced both. So is it a lot easier to play from LA now, or is it still kind of like shitty?
It's still kind of bad. They brought the Denver server in because it was supposed to benefit us a lot, and for some reason we noticed it this year. Whenever we first started playing on the Denver server, we actually had the ping advantage. Recently, it's been flipped. A lot of Texas teams say
They
the
still,
The Denver servers asked for them, but the ping say otherwise.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, it's online. I mean, at the same time, yes, it's been bad for us, and we feel like a lot of the situations we've been in online just weren't even like remotely close to us being in control. Like we just get absolutely slammed.
yeah,
It's definitely gotten better because of certain things. I don't even know if I can talk about them, but like the tool and everything they talk about.
yeah,
But at the same time, you can tell when something's like fugazi, really, really fugazi. But I'm just glad that like we have LAN, because like even in BO4, like online, like obviously we didn't live in LA, but we all play from different areas. We
yeah.
were always looking forward to playing on LAN. So it's always like that. Yeah, we can just get through this online phase. We play on LAN next week, and it's like okay, we can get through this real quick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I said, with MW year, it was just terrible because we didn't have LAN. So we had LAN initially, then in COVID.
And you guys
Well,
did pretty good on the land before. You guys are like 4th, right? At the LA home series?
yeah,
I think you
yeah,
got
yeah,
4th. So that's like
yeah,
not terrible at all. Like it wasn't last. And I feel like that MW year too, everyone was just expecting your team to do so well just because all the players on the roster. And I think you
yeah,
even got like a 2nd online once. So it's
yeah,
not like you guys were just consistently last. Like you were just getting shit on. But like
true.
you just weren't living up to everyone's standards for you guys because you guys were the champions for the past 2 years. So
Yeah,
everyone expected like you guys to win every single event. But nah, living in LA, like growing up and playing COD in LA and not having like fiber, I still don't even have fiber at my house to this day. So like I can't even go back and play competitive COD if I wanted. But no, it was super stressful just knowing like you're just getting joked all the time and it's just
yeah.
all BS, and then you finally get to land to even playing field, and it just
And you're
feels,
frying.
yeah, you're just frying. You're just
You're just like
frying.
it feels like a whole different game. And then, like I said, it's just something. Think about like whenever we're playing now, it's like, bro, just get through this day, get through these days. We
Yeah.
like right now we're talking about it like maybe some match we feel like we got joked, like some close match we feel like we got joked on these certain hills. Like, bro, we play and land in a week. Let's just push through it.
Yeah.
I probably raised the most about online. And I get raised at the most by Cap. But at the same time, like I said, I look forward to land because I think
Yeah.
it's like you're basically working out with ankle weights like type
Yeah.
thing.
Now, personally, I don't look forward to LAN anymore, but that's another story. After that MW season, stressful, everything, you went on the Cold War, back to 4v4. So how did you figure out who you were like dropping and getting rid of on the roster? And then
Yeah.
you also had a crazy part where LAT came back into the CDL. So what was it like to get that call, like, yo, we're back?
So it took a minute because our season ended and we were going months and months and months of not, because at the time we knew like the spot was being sold. We didn't know about who, so we couldn't talk about who we wanted on our roster because at the time we didn't even know who was spending the money. We're
Yeah.
like, who do we talk about the roster? We couldn't figure it out, and then I finally got a FaceTime one morning. It was actually funny because my mom and Nate called at the same. Well, they both called me. I missed their calls. I'm pretty sure. And I was like, I'm calling Nate first. You don't get a FaceTime on Nate. I was like, I'll call mom after. Like,
You gotta have
call.
something important, like.
So I called Nate first, and he's like, "Yo, I literally just woke up." Like, he's like, "We're back," and I'm like, "Oh, shit." Like, I
Yeah.
was so hyped to get the call. But at the same time, it was kind of like a happy moment, but also kind of like a confusing moment because every player was picked up or on a team already, so we were
Mm.
kind of limited to who we could get. We ended up getting Donnie. I was talking to Donnie for the longest time. I wanted to play with Donnie that year. We were talking. I was like, "Yo, just hold off, bro. Like, don't join the team. Like, you're gonna get on our team. Like, chill, bro. Chill. Like, don't join nobody. Like, chill." And like, obviously our roster didn't work out, but it definitely was the roster I wanted at least,
Yeah.
going into the Cold War season.
Yeah, you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys had a pretty solid stage one just because I know Donnie was just talking about it a couple days ago and Cap joined the call and Donnie's like, Cap, why'd you drop me so early? We did like pretty good. And Cap's like, or I think Donnie said, we went like 4-1 or something. And Cap's like, dude, it was a
Yeah.
fake 4-1. It was a fake
Yeah.
4-1. And then you guys made the roster change. And then Cap was just going rogue with the dartboard that year and changing every little thing, except for
My
you.
bad, Cap. My bad,
You
Cap.
you survived it. You survived
I
it
did.
all.
I
But
did.
like in Cold War, like why do you think like what was holding you guys back from reaching that like top level as a team, aside from changing a roster every single week?
Um, I mean, our initial roster. We definitely had our personality clashes, and like
Mm.
we all viewed how to play the game differently. I think that was like one thing for that roster. I think in the middle of the season when we got our quote unquote youngin roster with me, Venom, Draza, and Tej, I think we were actually playing pretty well. Made another roster swap. I think because Kyler came on the market, and I think just it felt like everything was just going bad. But at the same time, I think definitely is one of those things where you kind of look back and you're like, maybe we would have gave this roster a little bit more time, it'll work. But even then, like I say it all the time, is like, bro, even with a new roster, you got to see at least a glimpse of hope. Like
Yeah.
you have initial issues with your team, and you're like, these need to be fixed. Like not instantly, but they need to at least have progress on being fixed. And
Yeah.
it felt like with all the rosters we were making, like it was always just one problem was here for the longest time. It's never even getting fixed.
Yeah.
Like we can't even like get back on track with all the good teams because we're still stuck on stage one problems or issues.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like a roller coaster year for me in particular because I was on every roster.
Yeah.
And then it just felt like nothing could go right that year. Like every time something happened, it was just like
Kyler's
bad.
spelling his
Like
name wrong. Someone's not rotating.
Zach,
Crazy
Zach,
shit.
Zach pulling up and it literally pulled up for Kyler that day, dropped his controller and broke it right before our match. I was like, yo, this year is just chalk. Like we can't like
I,
what can we do? You were subbing in, you're ready to sub in, you pull up, you drop your controller and it breaks. I'm like,
at that moment, the year was chalked. Right when that
yeah,
happened,
at that moment I'm like,
you just gotta accept it right then. Like
"Nah,
he dropped his
we
controller,
ain't
your
doing
eyes
it
like,
no
all right, it's
more."
all good. Like don't even get mad about the year anymore. Like it's just not meant to be.
It's just
It's
not
just
meant
not
to be.
meant to be.
Yeah.
But after going through all that, what would you say was your favorite roster of your Cold War rosters? Or what's the roster would you give like
Um,
more time to because you saw the most potential?
I think our initial roster for sure. I think it could have been like if I knew the things or if I learned the things I know now with our team or how we go about practice now, I think if we implemented that back then, I think it would have helped our team a lot. I think our initial team is just micromanaging everything,
Yeah.
and it's something I had an issue with for the longest time because sometimes I can be a perfectionist, and I feel like it has to go one way or or it don't go another way.
Yeah.
But I think now it's like it's getting better and I've learned. So I think at my initial roster, I feel like if we could learn, if I can go back to time and just maybe try to go practice about it that way,
Yeah.
I think we definitely could have been better and maybe had Donnie on the AR and me on a sub. So maybe. I think that's the only. I mean, that roster. I mean, I enjoyed it. I had fun. I thought it was a fun roster. It just we sucked.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Respectfully.
yeah, you guys weren't terrible. You guys weren't terrible. Like it was still it's like solid. Obviously, to your standard, it wasn't like the best. But after all these years, why did it take so long for like, the whole switch to happen? Because like the community would call for you to run a sub for so long. But what was like
Yeah.
the actual reason that you were either being the flex or like an AR in like Black Ops 4, the games after that, and so on?
Well, I started my career as an AR.
Mm.
Granted, it wasn't like I was like the best. I was pretty good at AW to be fair.
Yeah, you were.
Um, and in World War II, I only ran the sub because it felt like that's what my team needed for us to win. And that was kind of my mindset for like every team I've been on. Is like,
Yeah.
what do I run for my team? What do we need from me to be a contender or winner or champion? Um, and every year it just felt like even in MW, like I ran a sub for most of it, and then MW champs came around, I had like a 1.4 at champs, and I was absolutely fine on AR. So I'm like, Jesus, maybe this is like the role I need. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think BO4 year was kind of one of those things. Once again, like now, how we went into it with multiple flex players, and we tried everybody on the sub, and then it wasn't me that was like we felt like it wasn't me that was supposed to be running the sub, and then
Yeah.
I run a Maddox, and everything was fixed. Um, and then now it was kind of a communication thing now. It was like,
What
yo, Lamar's a clown.
what's
Lamar's a
Lamar mean
clown.
by that? You're in the sub because I was watching you dolphin dive in OE every life in CTF. I was on to you.
'Cause I was running the AR and I was just doing whatever I wanted, bro. I was given the green light. Like, you don't give somebody the green light and then take it back.
I mean,
But yeah,
honestly, you guys might have won 4 events in World War II if you let Lamar keep running the sub the whole year.
bro, if Lamar let me run the bar in World War II, we would have been champions at every event. But
Oh, so you guys would have been better than you were.
yeah, listen, that's the thing. So the funny thing is, best World War II sub, quote unquote. Well, I was, but like if you ask tomorrow, I was trying to run the bar the whole time. I was trying to run the bar. I was literally begging. I ran it one time on Force. I dropped like 40, and
Yeah.
Lamar started raging at me. Kenny, what the fuck? You're not running like you're not running the you're not running AR. Run a sub. And I'm like, chat 40, bro. Like y'all got slammed. Dude. Um, But yeah, nowadays, like I mean, now we made the role swap because we thought it was actually communication issues. Like it felt like our two subs, not that they have bad comms, but like me and Sam were talking the most. Like we were like the ones coming up with the game plans most of the time, and we're running ARs being slow. So we're
Yeah.
like maybe we make it one off where one of us is fast on the map, one of us kind of slower. That was our initial idea going into it. Well, I brought it up to the team. And then, I mean, we initially felt like our pacing was better initially. Even if
Yeah.
I wasn't playing the best on the sub, it felt like our pacing in general was just there. Like we were always like moving at a good pace and not too slow. And that's like one of the things we felt like we were doing wrong this whole year was like in our scrims we were playing at the perfect pace or at a good pace, and then matches were slowing down
Yeah.
and playing too slow.
No, I
So I
think
think, I
yeah.
mean, it only took a long time because once again, it felt like that's what my teams in the past like needed slash wanted from me. From me is like running AR. It's
Yeah.
like, all right,
Now, there's a real thing though in the matches. I feel like everyone tries to be so perfect in the matches and not make a mistake, so then it just causes
yeah,
everyone to slow down because they don't want to be that one that fucks something up, and their teammate gets mad at them, and then it's always
yeah.
like everyone tries to be so perfect in all these matches. But then, yeah, what's it called? Lamar's still going on in chat.
Lamar's a clown, bro.
Lamar's still going on in the chat about why you can't run a third bar. So don't even try. You're never. I don't think you're allowed to run an AR at any point in
I'm
your
not.
career now.
That's what I'm
Like
saying. It's chalk. The air's chalk.
you're gonna be 29 years old, still running a sub. You might be getting spit on at 29 years old, but they're like, Kenny. I mean, we've seen what happens when you pull the AR out. You don't win. You still do good, but you don't win as much. When you have the sub out, you win chips. So, what do you think of Call of Duty Vanguard? Honest opinion about this game.
I actually, initially when I first like beginning this year, I was rating it pretty high. I actually loved it. Me and Don talked about it all the time. Like, bro, this game's actually fun, fun, fun. I think it's like this game with the same problems as ranked isn't as enjoyable, and the
Yeah.
maps just became a little too, random, I guess. But personally, I mean, I think in a scrim environment, I love it.
Yeah.
As a casual, not so much. But I mean, it's kind of easy to be competitive and love it when it's the most competitive, as in scrim and matches. So
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed at that aspect. I think casual, like I said, casual player wise, I don't enjoy it at all. Mhm.
Nah, yeah, I would say the same thing. Like casually pubs, everything ranked, not that fun. But competitive when you like especially when you see yourself individually and your team like improving, it just
Yeah.
feels so good. And you start like falling in love with the game. And when you're doing good too, and you're winning. Like if you're getting smoked every day and getting on and scrimming, it's hard to have fun. When you're just getting spawn trapped on Gav offense, on control, you're just like, all right, nice. This is real fucking fun. Veto this map.
Yeah.
But you guys were placing like what, like fourth through sixth, pretty much the whole year. So you were
Mhm.
floating around, right around like average, not too great, but not too bad either. And if
Mhm.
like some series went your way, you would be in like that top three at like the majors. Like I know it happened versus FaZe one time where you were up 2-0 at like major one or two, and
Yeah.
then like it happened. You guys got reverse swept, and you didn't get to like top three or whatever it was. But then
Mhm.
major four comes around, you guys come out and just look like the best team in the world. Like what was the practice like leading up into major four that really got you guys to be at that level?
Like I said, it's just once again us not micromanaging everything. We brought in Shane, who was really good at
Mm.
like not allowing us to micromanage everything and just find our major goal on the map and what hills we wanted to work on, and just even if we lose the map, let's just only talk about that hill. Just certain things like that. I mean, people talk about S&D all the time. We never felt like we were trash at S&D. We were just trash at man advantages. We're like we're up
Yeah.
43 or 3v2, we're just losing them. And then once again, just getting everybody comfortable on the map, especially me on the sub, since I like the role. Like I didn't really run a sub at all before. I actually at stage one or kickoff, I actually was playing really well, and I was running the sub the most. So I don't know when it changed, when the meta changed, where people running more ARs, like especially on bouquets, 2 ARs started becoming a thing. But I think yeah, that's just like the biggest thing for our major four prep was like it's like not micromanage everything. We know how good we are. Let's just make sure everybody knows their plan. I mean, their our goal and their role in these goals.
Yeah.
So I think that was just the main thing. And then we were just better on land. Like we felt like we were better on land. Like when we got to land, we just hit a different mode where everybody's more passionate, more locked. It's just like that tournament mindset.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, we didn't really. I wouldn't say we overly did anything. We did more like VOD sessions like outside of practice. That I
Yeah.
think helped us a lot. But yeah, we honestly just felt like going into major four. Every major felt like we had that one match that would have turned our event, and it was always against either FaZe or Toronto, those two teams. And we actually beat both of them at the tournament. So it was kind of just like one of those momentum things. We just rode the momentum throughout the whole
Yeah.
bracket.
And you guys got the secret sauce in control because you guys are just frying everyone in control, losing like one round throughout all control games. So that's kind of crazy. So never mind, never mind. I'm gonna keep it low key for
Hey,
you guys. I'm gonna keep. You guys are
yeah.
actually asset control, so people shouldn't watch your vods or anything.
No watch
But
those.
going into Major Four, I mean, you got MVP. You guys won. It was like a pretty
Mhm.
long time since you and the other people or on your team have won, right? Like I know they did
Yeah.
like the dates and stuff. So how after you won, like what was that feeling like to finally prove everyone wrong
Mm.
and then Sam even tweeted what's it called about the Reddit. He was like, I know you guys are so mad right now, or he just said something like that. Like how did it feel?
I mean, my first thoughts was like, damn. I guess I do need to be running the sub. That was like I like tweeted it while I was on the stage. Like, damn, I guess I'm supposed to be running the sub. It felt good because once again, it's like one of the things like you like gas up Zach about like Draza. It's his first. I mean, I guess Dill's won before, but not on land. I guess something
Mm,
like that. But like, it's just one of those things like you want to do for somebody else, and
yeah,
like me and Zach come close. So like at the time, I'm only thinking about that. Like, damn, like Zach just won his first chip, and that was like my first like thoughts was just like, damn, I should be running this up, and wow, Zach just won his first chip. And then Eric reminds you really quick that you also won because he comes on stage and he just rocks your body like in
yeah.
different directions. So I mean, I was overall happy because it felt like practice paid off and it felt like we prepared as good as we could. And then it felt pretty dominant except for like winners finals where we lost to New York.
Yeah.
So I was overall happy. And it felt good because it's been so long. But yeah, first thoughts was just I guess I'm supposed to be on the sub.
Nah, I know, especially like when you win an event moving forward, you think you're like the best, you can do no wrong. But what have you and their team, your coaches, done to make you guys stay humbled and like are still
Yeah.
confident going into the chance, but not like overly confident? Versus who do you guys play first round, by the way?
Boston.
Boston. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That'll be a fun one.
I mean, I guess I mean Cap after we won, the first thing he said like when we were on the stage, like, listen, I'm gonna give y'all 1 day of raising about online when we come back because we have like 2 weeks till champs and we need to be locked in.
Yeah.
And I think it was one thing we addressed really, really fast is that nobody on our team is getting complacent going into this. Like, we have a chance to go back to back, first team in this game to do it. Let's lock in. We know we need to work on because we know what teams are gonna veto versus us now that they didn't watch this whole event. So let's work on the maps that we know we are gonna play.
Yeah.
And not fall back on the maps that we're good at, just in case we do play them. But it's mostly locking in on what we feel like we're gonna play versus most teams, and like I said, looking into what we're gonna veto.
Okay. Can't give out too much info right now. Can't give out too much info. You guys are gonna have to wait and see for champs time to see what LAT's pulling up with. But if you could name
Yeah.
like your top 3 teammates of all time, not current though, not current teammates, so they don't get jealous this sort of stuff. Because I'm sure you'd have them all top 3. No one would be out of it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Who's your top 3 teammates of all time?
I had to put Lamar at 1. Lamar's the
Okay.
one that gave me my shot. We won together. Lamar is definitely 1. I'd have to say 2 would be Ian and Abel, and then if it's not current, I'll take Austin. Austin and Sheen are like 3, 4 for me. Uh,
Ooh.
well, bro,
You're doing
it's
money
so
chain
hard.
dirty. I mean, that's all right. That's cool. But
No,
whatever.
3, 4, and then I got Pharaoh like the 3, like it's like
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. Like those,
Yeah.
they can go in any order there. But Lamar for sure number 1. Just because, like I said, he gave
Ian
me my
number 2.
shot.
Are you sure?
Listen, listen. As much as I don't want to say it, but it has to be Ian for
Give him
sure.
his flowers. Give him his flowers while
Yeah.
he's like, come on, Ian. Where you at, man? I
Ian
know you're
loves
gonna hear this somewhere.
Ian loves saying that. I want to I like loves hearing me say that. Trust. He's probably in his bedroom right now smiling about that. He
Yeah.
hears it.
But Cheen won't be too happy about that one, man. Cheen will
My
not be
bad,
too
Shane.
happy. It's all
My
good.
bad.
But that's gonna be it for me. I appreciate you coming on and answering my questions. If you're
Yep.
down, we can do a little bit of chat questions right now. So
Let's do
chat,
it.
you have the MVP at Major 4. His time is very valuable. So he's not gonna be here for too much longer. So ask Kenny whatever question. You can answer as many as you want. You can answer as little as you want. You go crazy. Let's get it. Tom W show. Let's get it, baby. Am I thinking Thieves? Shit. What are you thinking, Kenny? You thinking Thieves?
I'm definitely thinking Thieves
You're
for sure.
you're all in on Thieves. All the
Yeah.
channel points. Bandana at champs. You bringing it back out or no?
Listen,
Oh shit.
hey, you just gotta tune in to see.
Oh
That's
shit.
all I gotta say. You gotta tune in to see, because it's definitely been thought about the whole year. Because everybody, I gotten a lot of
Yeah.
like people saying things about the bandana. Jesus, T-Rex. But yeah, just tune in. You'll see.
We're gonna need to see the 100T bandana for sure. 100T bandana,
That would be
T-Rex bandana, the bandana with all just Y across it. Yo, wait, actually, now I was, what's up with all the YYs? Like, be honest, when did this habit start? And I feel like it's your vice. Like, what's
yeah.
with you and YY, and why can't you break the habit, or what's it about the YY that excites you?
Excited. Trust me, I hate it. I actually in AW and like when I moved to Halo, I actually played with paddles. I didn't start playing Claw until like late in Halo. Did I move to World War II, and I didn't like pay for a scuff or anything like that. Just anything, any controller with paddles. And then I mean, when you play Claw, your finger is literally just sitting on the Y button. So it's
Yeah.
kind of just one of those things. I'm keeping my hands warm while I'm going. And I really only get caught off guard when I'm not locked in. Like if I'm like looking at my mini map running, like trying to call to my
Yeah.
teammates on something. That's the only time I actually get caught off guard. Um, but yeah, I tried in BO4 because Chris like Crowder used to like watch my POV all the time. He's like, bro, you gotta stop YY. The amount of times you die about YY, like doing the YY is like crazy. And I'm like, all right, listen, I'll move it to my D-pad. I switched my gun to my D-pad, and then I was still doing it. Like it's literally like one of those things I just can't break the habit. Um, I know it's cost me a lot. Even like one person that brings it up to me the most probably is like Nate and like Cap. Like they tell me all the time, like, bro, why wine costs you the most, but then it also looks good whenever you're frying. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I said before, it's like one of those things that I definitely tried fixing. It's just like one of those things that when I'm on my flow, like it doesn't cost me,
Yeah.
but it definitely can when I'm not.
So you got a question from the mob boss, Big Tommy. He said, "Is OpTic overrated?" Question mark. I think your teammate was Zach. Zach said they're a little overrated, but let's see what you got to say, Ken.
I mean, people were calling them the best team in the game, even Anderson at the event, and then listen, that's all I gotta say. They were not the best team at the event.
Okay.
So I would say they think they're the best team in the game, and I think people see them as the best team in the game. I think after the major, I consider us the best team in the game right now.
Yeah.
So if you want to, you take that how you want to take that. Call that overrated or don't call it overrated. I think they're not the best team in the game right now.
Listen, I'm not in the tournament anymore, so OpTic is the best team in the game. Yeah, I appreciate all y'all watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, follow button, all that good stuff. Green wall, bang, bang, baby. Who wins in a 1v1 between Lamar or Accuracy and Lou? Asked by Quavo
Who?
Lou.
What? Wait, what was
In
the
Ghost.
question?
In Ghost. Who would win between a 1v1? Lamar or Lou? Ghost 1v1.
Funny thing is, I was actually playing with Lamar, S&D, and Ghost, but I'm taking Lou for sure in Ghost. That's his prime. That's his game.
Oh.
Lamar was. I don't know.
Yeah,
Lamar was
Lamar
alright.
wasn't nothing special in that game. Don't worry. Don't worry. I saw it. But what's you're a big Star Wars fan, right?
Yep.
So what's your like favorite Star Wars film of all time?
Revenge of the Sith for sure.
Revenge of the Sith.
Not close. It's my favorite. Honestly, I mean, Revenge of the Sith. I'd put. I mean, Rogue One was fantastic. I put Rogue One pretty highly. I mean, it's not. It's a part of you know. It's not a part of the series, but it's part of the timeline. So I'd put Rogue One like number 2 for me right now. But Revenge of the Sith is number 1 because that's where Darth Vader is born, and you can't go wrong with Darth Vader. Simple.
I might need to watch that. Now, actually, I got a question. Wait, what's up with you and dinosaurs or T-Rex? Like, why do you like T-Rexes so much? They're pretty cool, but like, what?
Yeah.
When did you start becoming a big T-Rex guy?
Um. So in World War II, I think is when I started, and like it got to the point I like where I'm from, we don't gas people as much as like the gaming community does. I mean, I've obviously come to like I guess be a part of it, but like when people were like when I first came in and everybody's calling each other the goat, I'm like, hell, like the goat, you gotta be talking about the actual goat, like that ain't what
Yeah.
we do where I'm from. And so it got to a point where I was like, bro, I can't be calling everybody the goat, like, and I don't want everybody calling me the goat. So I kind of wanted to like distinguish myself from everybody. So when people tweet me or refer to me in
Yo,
like
that's
any
the
kind of post,
dinosaur right there.
it's a dinosaur, it's a T-Rex, and like growing up, I used to love T-Rex, like,
Yeah.
and then I like Jurassic Park and stuff like that. I love the movie, so
Yeah.
I think I went through the emojis one day and I'm like, what's an emoji that I think is cool? And I picked the T-Rex, and it just became my thing.
Yeah. No, that's. Dude, wait, did you see the new Jurassic Park movie?
I have not.
You
My girl
haven't?
went to go see it and said it was mid, so I
Yeah, it's pretty.
just
I like the Jurassic Park movies, and yeah, it was pretty mid. It was pretty mid, unfortunately. Wait, what's your favorite pair of shoes at the moment?
my favorite pair at the moment would be my shark slides, bro. I wear these every day. My shark slides.
Wait,
Uh,
what brand are those?
I don't,
There's
shark
random.
slippers. I think I
Oh,
literally
there's
found them on TikTok, and I only wear them as if I can wear them. Like I
yeah.
wear them every day. So
Wait,
shark
did you
slides for
wear
sure.
those at the tournament, or did you wear another pair of shoes?
No, I wore shoes because I didn't know. I don't know how the league is about wearing slides, so I
Yeah,
just
you don't want to get fined.
yeah. I just rock my slides. That's it. That's all I've been wearing. That's all I want to wear. Or
Yeah,
like Yeezy foam runners. Foam runners are pretty comfortable.
yeah,
Been
those
on the
are.
comfy wave nowadays.
Yeah, it's not about looking good anymore. I mean, you still look good, but like you got to be
Yeah.
comfortable. Us getting into our older age, it's all about that. Back when we were young kids, that's when you go in rogue and doing all that. But one last question from Cody because he's been spamming it. How has it
Yeah.
been to have a consistent roster this year as compared to last year?
Um. I mean, I feel like it made winning like so much better. I mean, obviously we didn't win last year, but
Yeah,
it's made because like we stuck with this roster. We knew our potential, and it kind of just showed. I think that's just like the biggest thing. I think last year was kind of like the most annoying thing about last year was just like every day we're like when we got on with a new roster, like, yo, what you doing SCD? Like, where you go on this map? And so every day we're going over SCD. So our SCD was just trash. It actually cost us a lot of matches. So
Yeah.
I think that's just the most best thing is like I mean, this year we were kind of trash at S&D, and we've gotten better at it. So probably just that game mode is like one of the biggest things because, like I said, you're trying to figure out what people do on certain maps when you don't have a consistent roster.
Okay, and that's it. Stream, that's going to be it. Ken, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Yeah,
Hope you had a great
no problem.
time. Shout out to the dogs, the dinosaur, everything everything running around in the background. But I appreciate you guys. Peace.
Thanks.
I just stopped the recording. But all right, yo. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no
Everyone,
problem.
gas Kenny up. Get a big Wenny in the chat. Get a big winosaur because that's the dinosaur right there.
Linus.
When you see that man walking on stage, I better start hearing some T-Rex noises from the fucking crowd. Y'all better be going rogue, doing all that shit, starting doing everything, okay? You guys better show him some love. And Ken, I'm expecting some cool walkouts. I'm expecting some bandanas,
Listen,
some shark
I got you.
slippers, whatever you got to do. Some cool lights. You're getting rappelled down from the ceiling in a shark's or a T-Rex suit. All of
Stay
it.
tuned, bro. Stay tuned. That's all I gotta say.
We're locked in. We're locked in. All right, yo. You about to go? You about to go chill for the rest of the night? Get some rest before
Yep,
scrims.
sir.
All right, yo. Have a good night. Thank you for coming on, and yo, go fry tomorrow. Go fry champs too.
Sure. Appreciate it.
Peace
Later.
out, brother.